Now, there are a lot of people that are highly offended about John F. Kennedy. Yes, I'm talking about the president that was assassinated because he was doing the right thing. He was letting people know you can be you, but look, for the people in this country that's different, guess what? They gonna have something to protect them. Uh-huh. They're going to have something that protects them just because you have made it known that you hate them. You have made it known that you have an intent to just destroy them in any shape, form, or fashion just because of who they are. Period. Yeah, John F. Kennedy. Yeah, he made that happen. I saw on the internet where it named all the presidents. They had him in copper with his head down. Uh huh. Uh huh. Because of that supremacy clause. That's what it was. Uh huh. Yeah. Which was the Constitution altogether. Clearly established law. All together. People have to be held accountable. Not just because, I mean, if people are not held accountable, they can do anything and get away with it. They could frame somebody wrongly. No, they could frame them wrongly. And just because of who they are in their position, they get away with it. They can do any other wrongdoing, whether it be murder on down, and they're going to get away with it just because of who they are. But then, you know, that's why many people did not like John F. Kennedy. Now I'm listening to Trump over there. Former President Trump said that Biden was trying to assassinate him. He said that he said the Department of Justice was trying to assassinate him. Now, why would former President Donald Trump be saying these things? Okay, true enough, yeah. Trump been known to do some things that just, no, you know. I don't, as I've said before, and said per my previous live, I don't know how. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not even a live. That's why my words getting twisted up because it was just a uploaded video. So in my other uploaded video, I was saying how I didn't understand who advises him to speak and such and just do things in such a sloppy manner. I don't know. From when he first came out in October praising Putin, Hitler, and Hamas, I just don't understand who allows him to incriminate himself. And then when it's time for him to prove himself right, you tell him not to speak. Like in court, where when it's no gag order and you can get on the witness stand and, show the jury how you innocent, you don't want him to speak. What is that? I don't know. But just because he talk crazy, I have always said a person that talk crazy, sometimes, it could just be because they crazy and they, all this. But sometimes it makes sense if some people don't want to listen to you because you ain't gave them so much whatever and it didn't check out to be true. But it checks out that you just want to oppress and suppress people, and I ain't got time to hear what Trump talking about. But some people that's unbiased, they listening to all things. Oh yeah, because it is important. It is important. And so I'm looking at this, and I was like, what in the world? What is Trump talking about? Biden and the DOJ trying to assassinate him? What is he talking about? Is it one of his little things, because them speeches lately? I ain't even finna get on that. I'm just stick to the truth real quick, and I'm gonna try to get through this. This kind of long. This like that vlog 3 that I did, vlog 3 or 4. I'm trying to think. What was it, 3 or 4? It was one of them. It was so long that it was ridiculous, but I think I was able to cover a lot. This is kind of what this is looking like, but I still just kind of want to maybe attempt to go through it just a little bit. So I'm gonna just carry it on from there, because even with thinking about that, Trump talking about Biden and the DOJ is trying to assassinate him, and I'm thinking about him saying that he could just shoot Joe Biden or even take him on in a boxing match, and he was and he was gonna handle stuff. But why would he say that? And right now, it could be ironic. I could be overthinking the situation. I could be, just thinking about it too deep. But for him to say that at a time like this, I could only speculate why he said it. Yeah, a lot of people like to speculate a lot of stuff and, try to put stuff together and be so off and wrong. But one thing about it, and two things for sure. That's why I don't like to. I have to hear from, the person. So I would like to hear from him on that. Did he explain it? Did he say anything? I just be wanting to know anyway. But I'm going to just say, when I was talking about the congressional map, the voting map in South Carolina, I thought of Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, and I thought of him saying one time about how Putin kidnaps kids. I remember he said that. It was during his presentation that he did on the House floor. And I'm like, wait a minute. Putin kidnaps kids? Where did he get that from? And then I'm thinking like, that was one thing. And then it was, I thought about Miss Tempest's testimony during the Georgia committee that happened last week, and I did make some mistakes on that. I know I said that I listened to the hearing in its entirety, but there are some things that I left out, and what I left out was the truth of she said that, I think I had said something in my video where I said that her position was just taken from her. She was just immediately demoted. That's not how it happened. I had that wrong. Even though I said I listened to the testimony in its entirety, I had to go back and see. I needed to go a little, just a little further back or whatever from where she initially started. So, excuse me. So what I found out was that Miss Tempest was in a position. She was a director over the gang department, gang intervention with the kids, so on and so forth. It was a program for kids, period. Okay. And then she applied for a grant while she was in this position. I think it was like in 2019 or something like that. And then in 2020, right after DA Fannie Willis got elected for her position, the grant was distribute to Miss Tempest and the committee that helped write the grant. And at the end of the day, to make a long story short, she was over that department when Miss Willis came in. Miss Willis did some modifications, some reorganizing, and what she did was took that department. She eliminated that department, and her reasoning for eliminating that department that had been there for like 20 years plus, I don't know why, but what I do know is that she did not know Miss Tempest like that to either know her, either to like her or dislike her. Okay, she didn't know nothing about Miss Tempest. She just knew that that department wasn't going to be there anymore. So, and another thing that the committee chair did ask Miss Tempest was, he asked Miss Tempest, he said, how do you know Mr. Howard, which was the former DA? He did ask, how do you know Mr. Howard? He did ask, what did he also asked? It was another important thing he asked as well. uh I don't know, but I like the way that he did ask, what's your affiliation? Like, how do you did you know him before you got this job? Was this a made up position? Before you got hired on, this position was created. But the answer that she gave the committee was that no, this was not created during my employment. This was a position that was already created when once I came on board. And how did she know Mr. Howard was never, did she know him before, or how did she get the job? That wasn't really answered clearly. But what I do know is that he did ask those questions, and that's the answer that she provided. But long story short, so she's the director over this branch that's no longer a branch, because Miss Willis, when she took office, she decided to get rid of that branch. And so my point was, she didn't know Miss Tempest for herself. Okay, she didn't know nothing about her. She just knew that when she came in, she reorganized things to her liking, as she is the one that's over it now. And she didn't know her. That's when Mr. Wade was on this committee to have her to reapply for another position that she was granted after her interview with Mr. Wade. So once she got this position, after her interview with Mr. Wade and the committee, which was a special, committee, whatever, and they agreed that she is qualified for the position of diversion, right? Something diversion program. Anyways, within this program, she was going to change direction, move, is taking children's mindsets and moving them towards a different direction, right? This program. And it seems, with making a long story short, it was more of a, not a diversion, but a diversion, a divert, taking the purpose of the course and everything and going another direction with it. Because according to her testimony, the money that she was granted, which, she should have still had access, to still be able to do her thing within that program since she got the grant. I think Miss Tempest got upset because it was someone over her now, and they felt like they should do other things with the finances that she did not agree with. And because she did not agree with how it was going to be spent, because, and I'm just thinking, I'll say this in another way later, I'm just thinking it out through step by step. My thing is, even if someone was over her, she was still a director. And although that position did not exist under gang prevention, it was now youth diversion or something like that. And either way that go within itself, at the end of the day, that building was still there. She could have still did something great. She could have still got some funds and used that. But she was concerned. I don't know if she was kind of like maybe she felt some type of way, like, man, why are you getting rid of this department, even though this is this. Maybe she just couldn't see beyond someone being over her now. I'm not really sure. I'm just trying to figure out where the root of offense took place. Anywho, nevertheless, we gonna keep on, cause you know I should have thought this out before I started talking about it. But anyways, so her problem was someone that's now ahead of her, because at first she was the woman. Now she ain't got demoted to this other person that, is coming in and is planning on spending this money on other things, when she like, no, we worked hard to specify to get this grant to the T, and I want it to go directly to these kids, period. And that was like, you doing too much. You too serious about your job. Or maybe. This is allegedly. This is my thinking on the other side, how she described the individual. This is only by speculation. So with that being said, that man was like, don't come in here telling me you too serious about your job. You so boring. We in here, we got swag, we got everything going on, and you sitting over here worried about I already done told you my experience. People get mad just because of how you carry yourself. Whether it's for or against, it don't matter. People get intimidated. They get intimidated by what's true. So at the end of the day, that don't exclude attitudes on the and everything else on the other person may have either, that's innocent. But anyways, I'm gonna have to do this over. So anyways, that's what happened. They had a little altercation. She got upset. She went and she said she had exhausted all her resources to get this man in order. So the next thing was his boss, which was Miss Willis. And when she went to Miss Willis and she began to tell Miss Willis about funding, but she said she was cut off, and immediately she had to be demoted. She said the conversation lasted between 2 to 5 minutes, even if that. And she said she was automatically demoted. No ifs, ands, and buts. Just because she told Miss Willis that her boss, the man that was over her, was misusing funds. So then she said that's when she went to another department. And I watched on Atlanta Live how it said that it was saying that the DA had issued a statement and said that Miss Tempest is just on a retaliation, spree. Her purpose for doing everything that she has did and everything she's saying is because she got moved to 3 different positions and she failed in all of them. When the truth is, one, her position was automatically eliminated before her even her position was eliminated, period. She had to reapply for another position because that position wasn't going to be anymore, but that was because of the direction of the DA to rechange or revise the organization. Okay, so that don't count. So then position number 2 came in. I'll just say she changed positions. Let's see, what was the other? Well, no, because I think after she went to her and told about the possibility of misusing funds, she had to go to a filing position or something like that. I think that's what it was. Yeah. So really, that wasn't, if anything, she got moved from what? Yeah, just one position, right? Unless it was something else before this. Yeah. That was just one position. One time she got demoted because it was understood under the DA Howard that that's what she was going to be, was the, director over that particular branch that was eliminated. So that's just what that is. Okay. So that statement wouldn't be true that the DA released, unless I missed something again, and that's a possibility. But for now, I'm rolling with that. But my point is, during her testimony, I noticed that she did point out something. She pointed out how the funds were being used that grant was supposed to only be used for children within Fulton County. And instead, she said that other kids from different states were allowed to have access to the grant fundings before the kids in Fulton County. And that was a problem to her because she wrote it. She wrote it. You got to give credit and honor where it's due. You taking over something, the best thing you can do is learn, from someone before you just go ahead and get rid of all the departments and see what's going on. But people don't have to do that, but it would be the respectable thing to do. Oh, I just thought about that one player that got kicked off of the Aces, Las Vegas Aces, honey. Kate Morton is doing her thing too, most definitely. But I will say, it is unfortunate that that player got kicked off. You would think that the WNBA would have did something like, just cut her before the game started. Before the season started. That's usually how, coaches will do something. But they cut her in the middle of the season. I don't know if they felt like she just wasn't playing her best or whatever it was. It is what it is at the end of the day. But what happened to just sitting on the bench till you feel like that player proved themselves? But shoot, that's just crazy. It's just better if things are, executed decent and in order. But anyways, let me hurry up and get off of here, because see, I didn't have a subject matter, so it's just gonna be everywhere. So anyways, I'm literally clearing my throat. No, I'm not throwing hints. I'm not throwing hints. So yeah, that was pretty messed up. She was still there. She should have asked questions. You know, um, and maybe that's what Miss Willis got offended. Maybe she felt like she should have asked a question about why her position was, no, couldn't have been that, because she left somebody in charge under her, you know, so she can do her job and focus on what she doing. So no, we couldn't say that either. Okay, let me stop speculating, but let me just go ahead and say, at the end of the day, Miss Timpson was trying to let Miss Willis know, hey, it's money being spent, and it's not going to my department, which I am over, and I'm concerned. Or maybe she just came to him and was like, so and so is taking funds. And she said that's all she said. And the meeting was shut down and it was over with, and she was demoted to a file clerk. What we don't know in between, we don't know if Miss Tempest was offended, that her position was completely wiped out, and was, acting some type of way, and this, that, and the other. But I seriously and highly doubt it. Even if she did have an attitude because her position was eliminated, how she was Oh, and she got that on recording, so nobody can say that. She got that conversation. She got that conversation on recording, so it ain't no changing and all that. Mm. Yeah, she pretty much just said what she said and she was demoted. So, long story short, that was just wrong. But what stuck out to me was this, and I know I started by saying how uh, former President Donald Trump was saying that the DOJ and uh, Biden was trying to kill him, assassinate him. And I said Lindsey Graham was talking about Putin kidnapping kids. And then what stood out to me during Ms. Timpson's testimony was she highlighted how she said Miss Willis' niece was going to a program, and she said supposedly her niece. That's what stood out to me. Supposedly her niece. Why would you doubt that that was her niece? And then, in addition to that, she said that other kids from Wisconsin was coming to the program over there, so on and so forth, right? Why? When the kids in Fulton County, like she said, they had the water boys that was, risking their lives selling water because people want to shoot and rob them because they got water, so on and so forth. And because they was determined to work, there could have been a program within that grant money that allowed them to focus like on the job training, some stuff like that. I don't know, just an idea, to keep them off the streets are having to do that. And so with that being said, yeah, I can see why she was, if she got offended, I could see why she got offended. So my point, like I'm saying, supposedly her niece, with and she had people from Wisconsin and out of state all over that was supposedly was family members. And so my thing is, I always encourage people to, you can have evidence about something, okay? Excuse me, but if that evidence don't belong to that person, you have nothing, right? I think you can present evidence all day and all night, but if that evidence don't belong to your accuser or your accuser who has been already responsible and accountable for what they did wrong, what are you presenting? What am I talking about? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Those three things got my mind like, it's a lot. It's a lot. But where would the chips fall? What in the world is going to go on? I always tell people, be accountable for your wrongdoing. When you're wrong about something, it is what it is. Sometimes we all take risks, we all do things, whatever, right? It is what it is. But it's only so far you can go with that. You understand what I'm saying? I hope you do understand what I'm saying. You have to be accountable for your wrongdoing, because when you allow to continue on in a way that's unjust and that's not right and so on and so forth, you think you're doing yourself a favor by trying to constantly prove you're right when you're wrong, but it's going to come back and see you. It's going to come back and see you. So the bottom line will be most definitely just do what's right. Some people don't know how to do that. Some people don't know how to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and grab another thing while I'm just sitting up here speculating and don't have a clue with what is going on. But Miss Tempkins highlighted that. She said supposedly her niece. Why would Putin be kidnapping kids, releasing what's in the vault? And also, former President Donald Trump stating that Joe Biden is trying to assassinate him when he very well said he would take him out. This is crazy. I don't know why I'm thinking about these three things, but what I do know is what's really going on. And I do know is if Miss Tempest, that's the severity of using evidence that you collect offline or whatever, or online. I'm sorry. Evidence that you get from online. People can edit things. People have their own opinions, so on and so forth. So if an investigator decides to use something that's online, that's not a credible source because people can go to edit and whatever. I thought of Miss Tempest sitting in front of the committee, and she was like, when she was questioned by Representative Jones about, if you knew, that this website was not accurate, why did you put it in your GoFundMe link? Wouldn't that make you look bad? If you didn't know exactly what it said, but you still used it for a reference, like, do you have the grant? And what the grant said originally. Do you have the original grant? I know her lawyer said that they was trying to access records or something and they couldn't get up in there. If you don't have them things, what are you gonna have? She may have some. She may be saving her smoking gun, honey. She may be saving it. She may be saving. She might have a spade, honey. I don't know if they playing by deuces is wild or just straight through. But she may have an ace. I know, people do the big jokers, little jokers. She might have a big joker. And play deuces wild. That deuce gonna cut that. Depending on how you play. That's crazy. Ooh. Mm-mm. I just cannot rap. It's something going like that, though. Who is it gonna fall on? What in the world? You got dirty cops. Oh, speaking of, not dirty. We all know that all cops are not bad cops. We had this discussion over and over and over and over again. I'm not going to do it no more. Every cop is not a bad cop. However, there are dirty cops that like to play dirty. You got some that feel like if you pay me, I'll look the other way. You got some that feel like, they want to stereotype. I use for an example how, the Mississippi goons just got their sentences for harassing two black men that they said they speculated that they had drugs at their house. Wrong call. That's why officers, people, in authority need to be held accountable, so on and so forth. Because when you don't hold them accountable, it's most definitely a green light to go ahead and allow that type of behavior until it's the very people's child that thought that it was all games and something to laugh about. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you do have dirty cops that, you pay me, I look the other way. You do have dirty cops that say pay me and I just resign from the force. You do have dirty cops. That's the truth. An organization called me the other day from Florida and asked me that I want to donate to their organization that consists of police officers, what else, firefighters, so on and so forth. And I would have been happy to do it, of course, when I get some money, because I will do, because I don't have nothing against police officers or firemen. And why did they call me and I'm in Mississippi, so on and so forth? I'm not sure, because he very well knew my address, so on and so forth. And so my thing is, I don't I don't care about that. Nothing is wrong with our organization and truth. Those guys, they risk their life. They do need, support, so on and so forth, even though they may have to pay. Same with any other, election or whatever like that. However, that phone call was odd. I'm always getting a phone call. I could be thinking too deep about it, but it still happened at the same darn time. Am I in my head? I don't know, but you just gotta keep going. So anyways, you do have some dirty ones that could very well call you to be donating for an organization that's trying to form a regime against you, and you donate to that and don't know about it. I'm just saying, it can go any type of way. But I always give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove me wrong. Until I did notice that this case in Mississippi consisted of this officer wrongly, charging this individual of a crime, and they did not do a crime at all. Yet this individual spent like 2 years in jail, and because of the judge was an unbiased judge, thank God, we give him glory. Don't ever stop praying. Whatever you do, you can pray and get the opposite. You cannot pray at all and be living a good life and ain't too much worried about it, and then the moment you start praying, everything go wrong. Why do it work like that? I don't even know. But what I do know is you better always say your prayers, or always give some type of thanks, some type of praise. Let him know, I know I am not here by myself. But anyways, Brown, something. Even when if you stop believing, you can't do nothing but keep going. But I just feel like every little bit do kind of count. You hope it do. You can do the most, and But anyways, I'm just saying though, back on the situation, it was an unbiased judge, and that judge was like, just because you're in some type of authority, it does not give you the right to sit up here falsely accuse someone and think you're supposed to have immunity. No, because that was claiming immunity, but it's clearly established, the law. You got to be held accountable, period. And people take it and run it and try to flip it and do whatever, but something is either right or wrong, because you don't have the license to play with people's lives like that. No, you don't have the rights. Yeah. You don't have the right to do that. So it matters at the end of the day. All things matter. You know what? If I was Joe Biden, I would create an executive order that's within those guidelines, because that'll be a way to do things right and effectively, to shut some of this stuff down that's going on. Because literally, that's all people of any other color than white have to protect them. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, people would just be trying to do whatever. And that's why some people don't want a law at all. Yeah. At the end of the day. But in the midst of everything, it's people that abide by the law but still messed up too. So we don't have time to focus on them. But one thing about it, and two things for sure, if the evidence shows that they've been wrong, they need to be held accountable. Don't nobody want to be wrong. They want somebody else to be wrong and all this stuff like this. And you could be wrong and still be right about somebody you saying wrong at the same darn time. We just saying when it comes to leadership and authority, we can't get it together. We can't go back and, try to correct our mistakes and everything like that. We can only go forward. What is going to be? What kind of nation are you going to have at the end of the day? Yeah, I've been on here for 40 minutes. This is horrible. And then I saw where Netanyahu went ahead and killed some more people and said it was a mistake. Do mistakes happen? Yep. Sometimes things intentionally happen too. And then when I'm just thinking out loud, so this is going to be everywhere. I'll come back and sum it all up and put it into one piece. But I'm just sitting up here thinking, okay, he talking about something that was a mistake when you already knew that you wanted to bomb Rafa anyway, and you was already prepared to bomb Rafa anyway. So go ahead and kill people because nobody still held you accountable. So you was trying to be, I guess, cute, trying to be a little funny with your little, But my thing is, how greedy can you get? Because you already wiped out people's land. You already took their home. And since they over there by the border of Rafa, here you come over there bothering Rafa. Now, you, what? Bad. He need to be stopped like Putin had to be stopped in the UK, even though he is our ally. I'm just saying, sometimes you got to be the bigger person. And then I hear something about Putin trying to come over to, is it Iran or somewhere over there? Talking about he want to go and help him. It ain't, it ain't funny, but it ain't no good. America better get serious. Yep, America better get serious. What are you gonna be? Because the very people that you trying to oppress and suppress, your oppressors watch you, and I've said that before. So I hope we're not taking it as a game. I don't care how many nukes and weapons we got at the end of the day. You better be making sure that the people of your land, of your country, is going to be willing to fight for you. And then some people say, we just make them fight for us, even if they don't want to. I'm telling you now, it's not a game. I just really feel that. I don't know that for a truth. But, excuse me, whatever's going on need to be figured out. You got a lot of people that might be wrong for some stuff. Excuse me, and the ones that need to be held accountable been the ones that's getting away with everything. Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about they can have a wrongdoing of 80. The other person only have a wrongdoing of probably like 3. And the one with 3 is the one that's suffering. That's ridiculous. That is. And it's got to be a stop eventually. So. All this time I spent, I could have did this the right way. Yeah. All this time I spent, I could have did this the right way, how I really wanted to say it. Yeah, but I didn't, and I gotta go. Yeah, I really do have to go. But I hope President Biden do make an executive order that prohibits the judicial branch from using biased judgment for the sake of race, political party, um, and stereotypization, which is probably not even a word, but yeah, stereotypization on nation, as well as executing judgment that avoids the law. I hope he do make an executive order. If he got rid of the lynching law, he most definitely can most definitely make that happen. Sign this day, right? So going forward, whatever happened, up until now. Ooh, I don't want to say that. No, I got to say it right because I don't want nobody turning nothing into nothing. But be encouraged to go vote still, register to vote. And we are going to see what this fifth month brings as we're almost there. Yeah, it's almost the fifth month. Now, I know I've been saying we have 5 months. I called that before the actual fifth month. I've been saying we have 5 months left when we had 6 months left, but now it's 5 months. Absolutely. On the 1st of June, we have 5 months left until election. Wow. Wow. 5 months left? That's it? That's all? And another thing I would do if I was President Biden, I wouldn't even, you know, I wouldn't let nothing go um, on without people fully going to court and stuff like that. I would postpone that. That we had to postpone the transition of power because the votes had to be recounted and all this. So I would postpone people, everything until people go to court and all that. Because is it really fair to vote for a former president if he has pending charges? Is that really fair? And then that's when RFK will come into play. And I don't know at this time. I don't know. I listened to him a little bit off I just be going into I'm sorry. Let me get off of here. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to get off of here. I may be back. I may not be back. I think I owe it to go ahead and have this better organized, to just say it right, because it's really not right. And it could be a midst of all things, but I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I may be back to do this. And if not, you weren't supposed to see me anyway.